Let's go to a suspected Chinese spy balloon has been spotted flying over highly sensitive U.S. military bases. President Biden and the Pentagon acknowledging that it is spying on us, yet they want to continue to just watch it make its way across the United States. Pentagon Press Secretary Brigadier General Pat Ryder provided little detail about the balloon during a press conference yesterday.
Is the Chinese government controlling the movement of the balloon, or is it just floating with airstreams?
We know this is a Chinese balloon and that it has the ability to maneuver, but I'll just leave it at that.
And once it's over a body of water, will you shoot it down?
Again, right now we're monitoring the situation closely, reviewing options, but beyond that, I'm not going to have any additional information.
So crazy. Why not shoot it down? Let's bring in former National Security Council Chief of Staff and America First Policy Institute Senior Fellow Fred Fleitz. Welcome to Saturday Report, sir.
Hey, Lydia, good to be here.
Well, Fred, China's aggression clearly on display right here by this move. China claims it's basically a weather balloon that simply lost its way, but the Pentagon admitting that is simply not true. The White House allowed it to travel great distances over sensitive, strategically significant areas of our country. I mean, take a look at that over the Mark Minot Air Force Base, F.E. Warren Air Force Base. I mean, why is this being allowed? That phrase, weakness begets aggression, really comes to mind here.
That's right. The Chinese have said that this is a weather device. It's a civilian airship. But even the Biden administration had to admit that this is a maneuverable spy balloon. The Pentagon said this yesterday. And the Chinese blatantly lied to U.S. officials on the eve of a very important visit by Secretary of State Blinken. I think this is an effort by China to test our defenses, to test the decisive leadership of Joe Biden. There is no decisive leadership of Joe Biden. I'm glad the Biden administration called off Blinken's trip to China, but I'm really troubled that they seem clueless as to how to respond to this.
It really is mind-boggling. And Secretary Blinken, as you mentioned, he commented on the Chinese balloon, and he is now canceling his trip. Take a listen to hear what he said.
In my call today with Director Wang Yi, I made clear that the presence of this surveillance balloon in U.S. airspace is a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty and international law, that it's an irresponsible act, and that the PRC's decision to take this action on the eve of my planned visit is detrimental to the substantive discussions that we were prepared to have.
Okay, so he canceled his trip, but is that enough?
Well, it's been a violation of our sovereignty for several days. Let's be clear that we only heard this statement because of the public outrage. I think the Biden administration was prepared to ignore this. I don't know how this came into play. I think a reporter may have seen it, or there was a report from the military. But I mean, this should have been responded to when it first entered American airspace, I think in Alaska, over a week ago.
Right. And the governor of Montana said he wasn't notified by the federal government at all. He said if it was his decision, he would have shot it down. Also, according to multiple reports, Pentagon officials are saying another Chinese balloon is now currently traversing Latin America. Why has China suddenly become so bold that they think they can get away with this? And I've been seeing some reports that we could be seeing war starting from China as soon as in 2027. I mean, this aggression is just really, really blatant at this point.
China has a very aggressive intelligence service and is known to be using surveillance balloons like this for some time for low-cost intelligence collection. It's been doing this over the Pacific against U.S. naval vessels and military installations for some time. I do think it shows an increased level of aggression, a willingness to risk these provocations. And look, it's very worrisome. There was a U.S. general who said just a week ago he thinks there could be war with China within 2 years.
Right. Former President Trump taking to Truth Social writing, shoot down the balloon. Pretty simple right there. Why not just shoot it down?
Well, look, I said on Newsmax yesterday, I don't want the balloon shot down. I want us to capture it. I want the electronic equipment, which is the size of a school bus, to be captured so we can examine it to find out what type of intelligence technology are the Chinese employing against us. We have the ability to do that. I'd like to see that done as soon as possible.
So, Fred, this thing is pretty big because you can't really tell because it's so far up in the sky. But you just said that intelligence equipment there is the size of a bus. That's incredible.
Well, I mean, the intelligence, there's also solar panels to power it. There's other electronics, but it's pretty large.
Wow. Thank you so much, Fred Fleitz, and we look forward to talking to you very, very soon.
Good to be here.